Doing well today. Uh, what a day, what a day. We'll get into that momentarily. While we are waiting on folks to join, just reminding you that coopedup.com is my website. You can visit it at any time. Cooperkoch.com gets you to the same place. I'm tinkering with the idea of changing it. Maybe we'll talk about that too in a moment. I'm Cooped Up is my handle in all of the social places. Would love a follow wherever you are, particularly if you're on the Instagrams. And then this is broadcast on Facebook Live, both on my personal feed and my Cooped Up page, on YouTube Live, and rebroadcast in audio format on all the major podcasting platforms. Would love a follow, click the bell, subscribe button, whatever it is, so that you do not miss a second of the fun. Hey, Mama, how are you doing today? Hang on, I'm making a note real quick. I have a cough drop in my mouth right now. Actually, I think it just went down my throat. So pardon me if I spit it out or something. I have had, my allergies are just insane right now. And I've had this like right here where my like sternum ends, like right there. I've had this tickle and I'll be fine. And then it'll tickle a little bit and then I cannot stop coughing. And it is the worst when it happens in the middle of the night. So, and I got a little post-nasal drip and all that too. So anyway, as you can see from the title of today's episode, it's the real dangers of TikTok. I have had this issue for like the last, I'll say week, 5 to 7 days. For the last 5 to 7 days, I have had a song stuck in my head, and it is a stupid song, and it is a song that is all the rage on TikTok right now, and it's this hair chicken thing, and I'll perform it for you momentarily. I'm just vamping in case a few more people want to show up. But this song is in my head, and I wake up in the middle of the night. It's in my head. If I am not listening to something else or thinking about something else, it pops into my head. If I'm just sitting there like making eggs or something, it pops into my head. It will not leave my head, and it is driving me nuts. And y'all, I'm sure if any of y'all are on TikTok, you recognize this song instantly, I'm sure. And I think it's starting to seep into other places, but it's effectively, it's like some hair chicken thing. And here we go. It goes, moose ain't sticking, water ain't sticking. My hair's starting to look like the backside of a chicken. I don't want to use no silly hairspray. That's the whole extent of the song, right? Or at least the part I know. I don't know. I don't know if this song is like a real song. I cannot get it out of my head though. Like that, it is driving me insane. I apologize for the singing. That was probably a hate crime right there. Just having to listen to me do that, or maybe the dancing was worse. But they're talking about, the government's talking about banning TikTok, and the FBI director was testified in front of Congress about the dangers of the misinformation that the way it can influence American people through misinformation and all that kind of stuff. I think they are going to ban it. Honestly, I think that is coming soon. I don't know that there's enough of anything they could do. Phyllis was saying, Phyllis said, "Oh my God, I wish it was more than me and your mom on to see that." I know. By the way, this is broadcast in like 3 different spots. So if you only see a few people on at one time, it may be just on that platform. I see a few more people on my end because I have an aggregator thing. But yes, that is what is sticking in my head. Like literally, I will get up to pee in the middle of the night, lay back down, and I cannot get that chicken song out of my head. It's driving me insane. But anyway, the FBI director testified in front of this. He's being Senator Rubio from Florida was the one who was questioning him about it. So I'm assuming it was in front of the Senate then. And he was talking about can they take control of parts of your phone? Yes. Can they do this? Yes. And he was like, can they influence people and all of that kind of stuff? And he was like, that's actually the most dangerous thing. Say China wants to invade Taiwan, they could start feeding Americans content that makes us critical of Taiwan, that makes us more favorable about them belonging to it, all that kind of stuff. And that's what they were talking about is the real danger. So, but again, that danger aside, getting that fucking chicken song out of my head. I've tried to rinse it. I was listening to. I mean, honestly, it's like driving me batty. Like this could be an episode of Dark Mirror or something where they're like in my brain. I was listening to Crystal Waters' 100% Pure Love at like the top of my speakers in the car earlier today to try to cleanse my brain. Fantastic song, by the way. One of my favorite songs of all time. Partially nostalgic, but also it's just a good bop. But yeah. Anyway, I just cannot get it out. If we get more people on, maybe I'll do it. You want me to end the show with that? You want me to do that as an encore? I will do it as an encore if y'all are very interactive today. So keep talking to me, ask questions, all that kind of stuff. That will be your reward. Encore. So I also read something yesterday that I thought was interesting. Oh, my mother is saying your family mental illness is showing. I think that you misspelled your mother is showing, Cooper. That is totally something I get from my mother. My dad's side of the family is, well, my dad himself, not his side of the family. My dad himself was not particularly like silly and dancy and all that kind of stuff. I get my physical appearance from my dad and all of the insides for my mother, including a crooked finger that I can't straighten up anymore because of arthritis. But so I was reading yesterday about if you're having trouble going to sleep. I don't actually have sleeping trouble very often. And when I do, it's usually because my mind is racing about something else. And I don't know why. And so I take magnesium at night sometimes, and it helps calm me and de-stress me, and it helps tremendously. I use this one called Calm, C-A-L-M, that I get. I get it in orange flavor from Amazon. Works really well. But I was reading something yesterday about how it was like tricks to get yourself back to sleep or something. And I just happened to be reading it. I was not looking for like research because, again, I don't have this problem tremendously. But one of the tips that they said was similar to counting sheep. They said that it is impossible for most people to lay still and count to 300. They were like, if you have troubles going to sleep or falling asleep or getting back to sleep, lay as still as you can in bed. Like, don't move around. Lay as still as you can in bed and try to count to 300. And I tried it. So I actually have known about this for a few days because I've done it twice now. I tried it the night of that, and then I tried it again last night. I don't think I even make it to like 75, honestly. I think that, and it that does work to get the chicken song out of my head. But so supposedly it is impossible while you are counting. This is why counting sheep works also. While you are counting, it is actually impossible for most people to think about other things. So it's impossible for them to think about the things that are stressing them out. It's impossible for them to think about the to-do list that they have running in their brain. It's impossible for them to stress out and have anxiety about this, that, and the other, unless your anxiety is counting to 300, I guess. But and that is true. I mean, it's kind of like the key to meditation also. Like if you need to center yourself, sometimes if I'm trying to be a little meditative, and I can't get my brain centered or back, I will just count slowly. And that's actually what I do on airplanes also. If I'm on an airplane and I'm starting to get a little scared, I don't have a fear of flying. I have a fear of falling, kind of. So I'm totally fine on airplanes until they start doing that thing where it just kind of drops like that. Some people love that. Some people, it's the most fun thing in the world. That like cliffhanger thing where it just kind of, and I can't tell if it has the plane dropped 40 feet? Has it dropped 4 feet? Has it dropped 400 feet? I don't know. They all feel the same to me, but it's terrible. I hate it, hate it, hate it. And so when you're flying and it does that, and when you're landing especially, because you don't know how close you are to the ground either. But when that happens, what I will do is I will put my tray table back up and I will turn the little knob and I will just focus on the little knob thing that holds the tray table down. And I will just start counting slowly. That is how I get my mind off of it. But it gets my mind off of it until the next drop. It doesn't help with the fear of the drop itself. but yeah, so laying still and counting to 300 supposedly is impossible for most people to do without falling asleep. So consider yourself influenced, consider yourself educated, consider yourself sleepy. You're getting sleepier. We got notice today, I guess last night, technically, that in our neighborhood, we're getting a Sprouts grocery store. And people are over the moon excited about it. They're like, we need better grocery stores, all this kind of stuff. I've never been to a Sprouts. And we already have like this organic, like whole, like farm fresh grocer called Cox Farms Market. It's a small little store. And they have great produce. It's great prices. It's cheaper than Tom Thumb on those things. But if you want potato chips, the potato chips are all going to be some sort of like made out of hemp or sesame seeds or something like that. You can't get Lay's there. You can't get Doritos there. If you want a soda, it's going to be some pure cane sugar formulation of something. You can't get Dr. Pepper there, They have all the bulk stuff like that too. But I was asking about at work today. I was asking, like, do y'all know anything about Sprouts? And they were like, yeah, it's just like a big Cox Farms Market, because my office is really close to there. And it's like, so can you get toilet paper there? And they're like, yeah, you can, but it's going to be like the easy to biodegrade, and you can't get Charmin or Cottonelle or anything like that there. I was like, can you buy diapers there? Well, maybe you can, but they're not going to be Huggies. They're not going to get Pampers. They're going to be like Honest Brand or something like that. So I'm like, I like another option, and I do like where it is. It's literally going to be like, I don't even have to hit a stoplight. I can just go, I hit 2 stop signs, and it's right there by my house. So it'll be great for milk. It'll be great for veggies. They also sell meats, which Cox Farms Market does not sell meats fresh. They have frozen meats, but not fresh meats. And there's something, they have booze also, which that'll be nice. Unless it's only like clean booze, like no cheap hooch. Because, I love me some cheap hooch. At the quantities that I drink it, I have to have the cheap hooch. But everyone's just over the moon excited about it. And I'm excited about the location. It is they're going to tear down an old Luby's that was in something else. And then it was a Chinese buffet. And I don't think it's anything right now. And then there's this other small grocery store called Elrod's Cost Plus that they're tearing that down also. And Elrod's, like, I feel like the food is spoiled before it even gets to the grocery store. I literally will only go in there because it's really close to my house also. I will literally only go to Elrod's if I need like a can of black beans that have an expiration date, like that I can look at, or if I need Kool-Aid, or if I need, which I couldn't tell you last time I bought Kool-Aid. I need to be careful. I got my Coach bag here and I'm swinging around a purple Sharpie. So I don't know. So I am excited about the potential of it being in my neighborhood, and I'm excited about how many people are excited about it. Let's put it that way. So come on, Sprouts. Sandy loves today's scarf. Yes, thank you. It's a bandana I got. I don't even know what brand it is. I just love it. It's so pretty, and I have it in black also, and then I have it in white also. I ordered like 3 or 4 of them, all in the same thing. So I thought I looked cute today. Like this shirt, I have not been, since I've lost 35 pounds, y'all. I've not been able to put this shirt on without it doing like this thing, where it buckles, or it's just so tight that it's uncomfortable, or it looks terrible. Was able to get this on, so wore that today. I wore it with my cute new Coach bag. The Frankie, I think, is this bag. Look how cute that looks. Like we're going to a show tonight, and I'm thinking about looking like this. I might change. I'm in ripped jeans. I might put on some regular pants, but how cute am I, right? Yes. So anyway, I'm wearing how about I just stick with the Miss America sash that I got on right now? I love it. So, but this Frankie it's kind of looks like it's from Coach. It looks like kind of like a feed bag, and it's beautiful. It's in the men's section at Coach. The crossbodies are all the rage, and I am okay with wearing a crossbody now that it doesn't have to go across so much body. Yes. And last night I ordered $200 worth of new underwear things that everyone wants to know. Cooper ordered Calvin Klein boxer briefs, and I branched out. I didn't order only black ones. I ordered navy blue, light blue, and black. Because as I have said before, all of my, from having gained so much weight before the pandemic and then during the pandemic, all of the waistbands of my underwear were like bacon, and they're starting to get loose and just don't fit right. Feels weird. So I'm getting rid of all my underwear. I got $200 worth of Calvin Klein's coming. I used money. I sold some of my Optavia, and I still have more. Someone wanted all the sweet stuff, and I sold it for the price basically for one package of Calvin Klein's, one like 6-pack. And and then I have a bunch of the savory stuff left. And I just joined a group on Facebook where people are buying and selling Optavia. It's kind of like not a black market, but like a brown market, an off market for Optavia. And for those of you who don't know, that's the diet that I was on, where it's paper pretending to be food, but it works. You lose a lot of weight. Nothing comes between me and my Calvins, except for about 35 pounds of fat. That was me. What else? Mason's new thing again. It's everything that's old is new again, or everything is new is that the phrase? Everything that's old is new again. I think that's the phrase. So Mason is, just as of like 3 days ago, really, really hardcore into Pokemon Go again. And for those of you who don't know, Pokemon Go is this app in your phone where it's like an enhanced reality. It's like virtual reality, but it's over real stuff. And there's a phrase for it. I can't think of what it's called. It's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of thing, where it's the real world, but then there's these cartoon characters in it, and you're looking around with your phone, and then you see a Pokemon character, and then you have to like throw things at it to try to capture it. And if you capture enough of them, all that kind of stuff. It's a very physical game. This is why I have no opposition to it, because he's having to watch. Like, I looked at where he was after school yesterday. He came home, did his homework immediately, changed clothes, did all the things immediately. Like, it made him behave better. I don't know the quality of his homework, but that's a whole other issue. But I looked, and he's like on the other side of the golf course, like catching them all. That's the phrase, catch them all. But the interesting thing is they have updated the game where they have some physical challenges in it as well. So for one of them, and I know he's working towards this one, for one of them, it does not let you see the special character, like a special character that you can catch, until you have walked at least 10 kilometers playing the game. So it knows how far you've walked and all that kind of stuff. So you have to walk 10 kilometers. I think that's what he told me, or maybe 10,000 steps. I think it's 10 kilometers. 10,000 steps is not that much. 10 kilometers before it shows you like the specific thing. And that's what he's working towards. And the boy woke up this morning, took a shower, ate all of this, and he texts me this morning. I hear the alarm turn off. I'm still in bed at like 6:30 in the morning. I hear the alarm turn off, and he texts me from downstairs. He says, "Hey, I've done all my things. This. I'm going outside to catch Pokemon." So Mason goes outside at 6:30 this morning, and from 6:30 to 7:30-ish, until we needed to start doing final preparations to go to school, he's catching Pokemon outside, up the Kessler Steps, on the golf course, down by the creek, all kinds of stuff. So I did have to rein him in. I'm like, you're not allowed to cross this street. You're not allowed to cross this street. You're not allowed to cross this street. But anything else, I'm like, go for it. So anyway, the other thing I need to do, so we're leaving Saturday morning for our RV trip. This is words that I don't think I have said ever in my life. I need to buy a fishing license. Yes, you heard correctly. So part of on this trip where we're going, I have to buy a saltwater fishing license specifically, which I believe is more expensive in Texas than a freshwater fishing license. And I don't even know how much it is, or if you just buy it. Do you buy it by the day? Do you buy it by the? I have to research this. Is it a week long? Is it a season long thing? I hope it's not season long, because I don't need that. That's overkill. I just need like a couple of days. That's literally all I need. And if they sell it by the day, I'm willing to wait to buy them the morning of. Because I assume that if you have proof on your phone, like I assume they email you a PDF or something. I can remember as a kid going to what store do we go to? It was like the sporting goods store or whatever, and having to go buy hunting licenses. I didn't, but I'd go with my dad to do it. I've only been hunting once, and I don't think I've ever killed anything. And I went to my granddaddy and my dad shared a hunting lease, or maybe it was my granddaddy's hunting lease, and my dad was just a guest there. But I've been there. I went there a gazillion times. I mean, it was just south of Kingsville, Falfurrias area, north of where I grew up. And so went there, but I would always just stay at the camp, and they would go out hunting. Or sometimes I would go out with them and sit in the deer blind. Boring. Now, if I had an iPhone, which kids have now, it would have been way better. Sandy is saying, not sure as I've ever said I need a fishing license in my 57 years. Yeah, I wish Eric were on right now. I wonder if Eric has ever bought a fishing license or a hunting license. My guess is negative. He has not. So I kind of like this shirt open more with the bandana in it. I'm liking this look. I'll have to repoof my hair though. It got wet earlier. It was pouring something crazy here. It's pouring like a Vietnamese monsoon here earlier. It just out of nowhere, just the sky erupted. It's raining again right now. I see Mason outside in the rain though, playing Pokemon. That kid. Him and his addictive personality to things like that. I made a joke this morning. Todd did not appreciate it. I made a joke that because when we got things like, Mason and his addictive personality, we may need to start saving up for rehab already. And Todd's like, don't say that. Don't even put that on you. He's probably going to get mad at me. So occasionally, Todd doesn't listen very often, but it tends to be the times I say like the most extreme things that he does listen. And I don't know if it's coincidence or if someone's narking on me, or maybe I say these things on every episode and don't realize it. But I'm sure I want to get some words about saying that we need to save up for Mason's rehab already. And then I got words last week when I talked about, earlier this week on Monday, when I talked about what I said when Todd showed me his kidney stone. You'll have to watch it on the repeat. I'm not going to repeat it here. And go back to Monday's episode. I don't know at what point it was, but Todd showed me he had a kidney stone over the weekend. Terrible emergency room visit. It was scary, super painful, like the most painful thing he's ever had in his life. But when it came out, he showed it to me, and I made a little smart-ass comment. And it's kind of dirty. So anyway. The only other thing I had on my card for today is Facebook is changing the way it operates. And I'm kind of wanting to poll y'all on this. So when I first started doing these broadcasts, I set up a Cooped Up page. I don't know who's watching on Cooped Up and who's watching on Cooper Koch. But I've only recently started airing this simultaneously on Cooper Koch, my actual personal page or personal profile. So I set up this Cooped Up thing because that's what you needed to do for being able to use these tools, like to be able to show the comments, that sort of thing, right? Like I can show Phyllis's comment right there, Well, they've since updated it where all of the perks of having a page, if you're an individual person, as I am, at least today, you get all the perks of it, right? And so I've been posting less and less on Cooped Up, aside from this, and more and more on my personal profile. And I'm considering just getting rid of the @I'm Cooped Up and just going with the @Cooper Koch, because it's open. Most things are open to the public. I don't really restrict things very much. Occasionally I'll go in and restrict it, but usually it's after the fact because I've kind of sobered up a little bit. But I can get a lot of the same monetization stuff. I can get the same things. Oh, but y'all are saying Mama's saying she's watching on Cooped Up and Sandy's watching on Cooped Up. Okay, good intel here, y'all. So I've not made any decisions yet on that. But I know that some people watch in some places and some in others. And one of the things that I've heard since I've started broadcasting in both places is that they're like, oh, I don't see what the other people are commenting, so I can't comment on their stuff. So anyway, and sometimes it makes it look like fewer people are watching, but I've seen engagement go up a lot since doing it in both places. So anyway, just something I'm thinking about. I do own the trademark to Cooped Up, so I do need to keep like my website as Cooped Up, I think. I was wondering about that too. So like, if I own the trademark to Cooped Up, and then someone like Post Malone, because he did do this, releases an album I think is called Cooped Up. Like, could I technically have an attorney send him a letter for copyright infringement or whatever? Because I own the trademark. So I don't know if trademarking, I don't know. I'm just curious about that. I know so little about it. So Allison is picking up some Indiana Jones vibes. Yes, except for at the end of it, it's a Coach purse. It's a men's bag. But you know, Indiana Jones carried a bag too, a crossbody bag. So saying that I remind you of a young Harrison Ford, that nothing about that offends me in the least. And I've heard he has he's in a new show called Shrinking, something like that. Shrinking, I think that's what it's called. And that he's hilarious in it, and that it's a great show. And it was renewed for season 2 today, I saw. And the only reason I saw that is the play we're going to tonight, Silver Foxes, is directed by Michael Urie, who is on that show. And he's from Garland originally. And he's back here for 2 weekends directing this show for Uptown Players called Silver Foxes. And it's kind of like a gay men's version of Golden Girls. It was written as a sitcom. It didn't get picked up that way. So they turned it into a stage production. And we're going to see it tonight. And Michael Urie will be there. So, full circle thing. So, anyway. Well, that's all I got today. Y'all have anything? We got a few more minutes. I'm going to vamp for a second so that y'all can make comments, ask any questions, do anything like that. I will be here tomorrow. Y'all. Today is the last day of our lives that we do not know where Mason is going to high school. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So before I come live tomorrow, so I'll either be really in a great mood or just, actually, I won't be in a bad mood either way. Our public school option, the IB program, I'm not mad at that. I'd rather have the private school option, but I'm not mad at the IB option that we have in front of us. But we will know tomorrow for all of the schools that we applied to, notify Friday, March 10th at 4 p.m. So we should know by then. But today is the last day that we do not know. The last night we do not know. One more sleep until we know. I hate that phrase. How many? 2 sleeps until? That sounds so immature to me. But anyway. I know Sandy, I can't wait to hear about his school options either. I hope we have a lot. But even if we don't, we are fine with any of the 3 that we applied to. Any of them. We would be completely, there's one I like better, but we would be completely comfortable. We wanted each of the 3 for different reasons. So anyway, well, one of them less than the other 2, but 2 of them in particular. Now I'm starting to talk myself out of it. Whatever. So, alrighty. Thanks, Mom. I hope you get the school y'all want. Yes, I hope so too. Claire's already like freaking out though. She's top down. She's probably on this. She's like, I think I need to get a tutor because she's not very good at taking tests. She has a lot of anxiety. Her dyslexia and her dyscalculia kind of put her behind. Dyscalculia, if you don't know it, it's kind of like the math version of dyslexia, and they're hand in hand for most kids who have one or the other. They usually have both. But so she's like, I want to hunker down this summer, all that kind of stuff. So we're working on that, trying to get her to. She still doesn't have her multiplication tables memorized, and that's one thing that's really, really hard for people with dyscalculia is the rote memorization part of stuff. So just trying to get that done. Anyway, the trials and tribulations of being a parent in a big city. So, alrighty. Well, with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you. It's important to know you were loved. I love that you watched this. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great evening. Take care of yourself. Don't should yourself to death because no good comes from should. And I will see you tomorrow at 4:30, hopefully with great news for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Should I say bye? Oh, I was going to do the dance. Moose ain't sticking, water ain't sticking. My hair's starting to look like the backside of a chicken. I don't want to use no silly hairspray. Now, I hope it's in all of your heads too. Oh my God. Now it's in my head again. All right. Bye.